And Dick Rochfort here in the descent.
To Rogers, Arkansas.
Yeah, Rogers, and we're on our way to NASIC. Initial approach fix, RNAV 20.
Razorback, Global 725, Charlie Sierra, 16,700, descending 10,000.
We're using VNAV to accomplish that.
Global 725, Charlie Sierra.
With a restriction of stop at 32 at NASIC. 3 degrees down, working out to about 750 feet per minute down. Got some weather in the area, so we've got radar and NEXRAD on. And you can see the storm scope information there as well. And here, although those are anomalies because there's nothing out there today. We've asked the computer for no procedure turn at NASIC, so in other words, we've removed the procedure turn. I like to load it initially.
Check gear.
So that I have it if I need it. Once we get a clearance, we know we have a clearance because the light here is lit. We're good to go.
Skyway 5666 has the field inside.
So now I'd like to ask myself 3 questions. Which way? In this case, straight ahead. How low? 3,200 at NASIC. What's next? It'll be a left turn at NASIC and down to 3,100. Which we'll accomplish when we get there. We keep getting a check gear light. It's a known squawk. I wouldn't say there's anything wrong. It's just that this particular profile is requiring a power setting that's at or near the minimum power setting. You may have seen a white banner in this region here a minute ago, which minimum power it said. That's a function of the auto throttle, which we dutifully have engaged here. We've asked for 150 knots. At some point, we're going to be slowing to 130 for the approach. And given that we've also given the aircraft some constraints for the descent in order to get to NASIC at 3,200, we're probably going to see that power limit again. 250 is the limit, so let's see if we get that triggered. And I'm going to put the chart on my side as well so we can see it. Since there's weather in the area, we're using the map for nav data, lightning, and NEXRAD, and of course, radar. We've checked this many times. This is all ground in here, not to worry. And then on the 40-60 splits on the PFDs, we have nav data, or correction, flight data and approach. So 32 to NASIC and then down to 31 at JAPCO, where we will get the glide path from there. For those of you who are wondering, and I've had this question a lot, so I want to mention it. I have a minute here. The CDFA
has Rogers inside.
Continuous descent final approach is not regulatory here in the U.S. Now, I'm not saying since it's not a rule I don't have to do it. I'm saying it benefits folks without WAS, so I'm in no hurry to do something the airplane will readily do for us.
127.1.
There are countries in the world where CDFA is required. I think Scotland is one of them. So we're going to be following this profile in what is colloquially called dive and drive. That in FAA parlance doesn't refer to the vertical nav outside the final approach fix. It only refers to the vertical profile inside the final approach fix. And we have plenty of guidance for that with LPV minima and alternatively LNAV minima. which is what the black V is for, as most of you may know. I just heard 200 to go, correction, 1,000 to go, and we're about to make the turn at Nasik, at which point we'll continue down to 31, get the glide path from there. Glide is present, and we're still engaged on VNAV. I'll get a little bumpy down here. 200 to go. You can dial down, we're in the turn, and the new bearing is set, so go ahead and set your 31.
Number 5, Charlie Sierra.
Check
Roger,
gear.
cleared visual approach,
1937 is the number.
That would have been a good way to get it to.
Okay. All right.
November 1, Mike X-ray traffic, 10 to 11 o'clock, 6 miles. There's a Gulfstream descending on a 4,700. They're going to be inbound in front of you there on about a 4-mile final intercept.
We'll be looking 1 Mike X-ray.
Then we have traffic in front of us.
That's low, clear track 604, 10,000.
Rear track 604, Razorback approach. Good morning. Drake altimeter 2995.
2995, clear track 604.
So we're at 31-ish. Looks like we've lost the path, huh? And leveled off at 32. So let's go ahead, hit VS, and let's get down.
We've got top of descent here.
Yeah,
It's just in no hurry to get to 31 at Japco.
I know, but I'd like to do it just so we're down and on speed.
Okay.
The VS, 500 feet a minute-ish. And let's be there in level flight with the altitude light lit.
Check gear.
So we don't want to catch the glide path early, basically is what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
53, Razorback departure, radar contact. Good morning.
Good morning.
November 1, Mike X-ray. That traffic you're following is now to 11 o'clock, 3 miles, indicating 110 knots. Disable, reduced to lowest practical approach speed.
Check gear.
Traffic in sight, we're slowing
Check
down 1
gear.
Mike X-ray.
120
Check
maybe.
X-ray, Roger.
The glide is alive. We're waiting for the GP to turn green. And then we'll use gear and 1 notch of flaps to maintain our speed at 120-ish. Once everything is trimmed up, we'll dial in 110, perhaps. Your decision, but...
November 1, Mike X-ray, contact tower 119.37. See you on the go.
Check gear.
Going to tower, 1 Mike X-ray.
A14, Roger, thanks. Global 725
Check
Charlie
gear.
GP is green, so let's go with gear, nacho flaps, and 110 on the speed. Yep, that'll get us to the white
Tower
arc.
311 Mike X-ray. Now let's see. We are crossing Japco inbound, planning on the mist.
311 Mike X-ray, Rogers Tower. Number 2, follow global short final runway 20, cleared for the option.
Clear for the option 20, 1 Mike X-ray.
A couple of pointers here on this beautifully informative display. We have our marquee here, which tells us what the autopilot is doing, or not. The wind indicator, standard EHSI, glide path, speed and altitude tapes, and some data for the leg right there. And over on the chart, of course, we have everything else we need including DA. We also have a radar altimeter in there, which is sweet. This is going to be a low approach for training purposes. Since we have traffic in front of us, we're probably not going to take it to the minimums.
Charlie exit Charlie, going to the Beaver Lake.
And on mist at 500 feet.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Charlie Sierra, welcome, thank you.
$500 to go. Runway's in sight, but for training purposes, this will be a mist. Remember, the mist is coupled and the auto throttle is engaged. So when you press the button, the airplane's going to do the work. If it doesn't for any reason, we'll disengage the auto throttle with the button underneath the power lever here by my index finger and adjust power accordingly. Full power for the mist. We have the runway in sight, but we're planning on the mist, so we're not going to get the second notch of flaps.
Going mist now.
All right, so nothing to touch with your thumb. No, don't touch anything with your thumb.
Oh.
Yeah.
Tell the tower?
No, we're busy right now, officially busy. Positive rate of climb. Gear flaps trim. No, don't trim, I'm sorry, that's wrong. Autopilot is on, verified, and we're in the climb.
Yep.
Now you call the tower.
Tower 1 Mike X-ray going mist. Planning on a couple laps in the hold.
311 Mike X-ray, roger. Contact Razorback 126.6.
26.6, 1 Mike X-ray, thank you.
All right, now definitely switch the frequency.
Approved in the safety.
And now before you talk, let's get going on the mist. So your instinct was correct, nav. And what altitude should we be going to?
We should be going to 3,100.
All right, let's set that in there. It
Got
is good. All right.
Approach 311 Mike X-ray on the mist.
11 Mike X-ray, Razorback departure radar contact, and you're going to climb and hold as published at Honan?
Yep, gonna hold it Honan, and we can hold higher if you'd like. We're planning on picking up our clearance back to St. Louis.
Number 1 Mike X-ray, roger. Climb and maintain 6,000 and hold as published at Honan.
6,000, we'll hold as published, 1 Mike X-ray.
Check gear.
Call it 130.
Yep.
130 is our ice penetration NVA-ish. That's where the two cross. So anytime the air is bumpy or any chance of airframe ice, that's our go-to number. Dick Rochfort, fly safely. Train off it.